Live from the Central Connecticut State Soccer Field in New Britain, Connecticut, it's the Northeast Conference Women's Soccer Championship. The number 2 seed, the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights, taking on the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils, the top seed. Here's how they got here. Central Connecticut with a 3-1 win over Sacred Heart, and Fairleigh Dickinson, no problem with Bryant. Hi, everybody, along with Mark Robbins. I'm Dave Hopkins. Great to have you along. Championship Sunday here in the NEC. Now, it's kind of odd, Mark, because the 2 seed does not have a loss in NEC play this year. Central Connecticut has won. It's to FDU.
Yeah, they played back in early October, a double overtime game. They played at FDU, and the Knights came up with a 1-goal victory in that double overtime. It's the only loss that Central has. Of course, they're looking for revenge. They met last year in this tournament in the semifinals, and of course Central got the victory then.
Central Connecticut, the defending champion in this tournament. Let's talk about a couple of the key players, a couple of the goal scorers from the semis. The sophomore Leah Egner is a good one for FDU.
Yes, from Germany, outstanding performer, great vision, the ability to score. She got one of the 2 goals on Friday in the semifinals. This is a physical team from FDU, and they'll look to pound it toward the net.
She plays all over the field, and so does Erica Bardez. She's a junior for Central Connecticut.
Yeah, you talk about versatility all over the place. She makes herself available to the offense. Came into the school as they wanted to make her a defender, but with outstanding offensive skills. She had the first goal and the 3rd goal in the 3-1 victory on Friday in the semis over Sacred Heart.
All right, Mark, we're ready for this one. The 2 heavyweights in NEC women's soccer, Central Connecticut and FDU. The opening kick comes your way next here on ESPN3 and NECFrontRow.com.
Piero to the belt and delivers. Clean by Braxton is good at the buzzer. Would you believe it? Allegro comes inside. Eddie, another shot. She scores. For the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions.
Imagine yourself in a landscape of constant action. A lab of innovation, a field of dreams, a world of opportunity, a culture of connectivity with a global footprint, a community that doesn't know the word no, and a university that's ready for anything. Transform yourself and the world at Fairleigh Dickinson University.
At CCSU, we're connected to our past, to our communities, and most importantly, to each other. Visit ccsu.edu.
Dave Popkin, Mark Robbins back with you at Central Connecticut State Championship match here in the NEC. One of 23 tournaments being contested today. The 2 seed Fairleigh Dickinson and the top seed CCSU doing battle. And this is the way it should be. The top 2 seeds here. There's FDU, their starting lineup. Amanda Fitzgerald, a terrific goalkeeper, one of the best in FDU history. The veteran Samantha Roth, Maddie Robbins, Jackson Bennett, Alexian Marquis, their leading scorer. Paula Roos scored in the semis. Chloe Sheffro. Leah Egner we talked about in the open. Eric Tepe is the 6th-year head coach as he shakes hands with Mick Darcy, the 20th-year head coach of Central Connecticut.
Yeah, we take a look at the starters. Both goalkeepers first named Amanda McQuillan, 10-3-4 on the season with a 0.74 goals against. Shawnee Altericio, Allison O'Rourke, Roma McLaughlin. Now there's the story. She will be in the starting lineup, came in as a substitute in the semis, coming back from injury, played about 14-15 minutes in the semifinal. Gonna go today for Mick Darcy. We asked if she could, how long she could go, and he said, well, she tested fine on Friday. So she will be there, and she certainly is one of the engines that makes the Blue Devils go.
McLaughlin, the midfielder of the year in the NEC, a first-team all-league player, second in the league in goals and points, and one of the leaders of this team. So McLaughlin is in there to start. Number 6 on the right, and we'll see how she fares today, the sophomore.
Conditions pretty good, I'd say, Dave. Little threatening skies, but we don't expect much as far as precipitation. There's a little bit of wind that's been kind of swirling, but for the most part going from our right to left, and as you watch as well here on NECFrontRow.com and ESPN3.
A lot better than it was on Friday for sure. Temperatures in the 20s with the wind chill for the semis. The wind not as much of a factor today. And temperature 50 degrees with the opening kick. And Central will have it at the start here in the white with the blue stripes. Bardez sends it ahead to the head of Julia Shea.
These first few minutes, not so much a feeling out process as opposed to both of these teams so aggressive, want to attack. They're looking for that first mistake, that first opening spot where they can push up and attack.
Two physical teams. Central's Bree Williams plays it back to Taylor Smith, who was a major factor all season long and in the semi win as well over Sacred Heart. She was the target on a lot of corner kicks, heading the ball toward the net and active in the midfield. The Knights won this tournament in 2015. Central Connecticut won it last year, and they've won it 9 times. That one lobbed toward the crossbar and over.
Oh, the high cross. The first opportunity, and that we talked with Mick Darcy before the game. Opportunities, not so much shots on goal, but opportunities for these teams are what the coaches are looking for. And, you know, they played a double overtime game, a 1-0 game for FDU. Several weeks ago, and opportunities were plentiful for the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut, but it was FDU that capitalized.
Coach Darcy thought that his team played better than FDU, but they had about 12 legitimate chances that they did not finish, to Mark's point, and ended up losing it 1-0. Giovanna Inzarillo up ahead to McLaughlin.
Such skill to possess.
Tachibana, maybe the best at that. Bardez sending it in, and it's grabbed by Amanda Fitzgerald.
It's one of those opportunities, and the Blue Devils quickly working that 3-player triangle from that left side to get the shot on goal.
Fitzgerald is the senior keeper from Holbrook, New York. Emily Hogan jostling with Maya Skansberg. Now Shawnee Altericio, one of the best backs in the league, sends it ahead.
McLaughlin trying to run it down for the Blue Devils.
Played out wisely by Paula Roos of FDU. She scored her first goal of the year in the semifinal win over Bryant.
First 3 minutes, the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut kind of controlling things from midfield in toward that FDU goal.
Central will have it again. These two teams are always there. Central Connecticut, regular season champs 3 of the last 4 years. Mick Darcy has been to 7 NCAA tournaments, The winner of this one gets an automatic bid. Sent into the box. It's loose and a push against Central Connecticut.
A good ball into the middle of that box. Another opportunity for Central. They pushed the pace a little bit early. Talk about a hot team at home, Dave. 25-0-3 over the last 28 games for Central Connecticut on this pitch.
25-0-3?
Yes.
It's amazing. 7-0-1 here this year.
In conference play.
In conference play. Smith heads it, and somebody hit the deck. It was Bardez pushed down. Looked like Samantha Roth was the offender.
I stand corrected. That's overall 25-0-3.
Wow. Touch last by Chloe Sheffro, the junior from Ontario. In the direction of Jenna Ray Cavello. Jenna on the run. Has it. Her cross is knocked away by Krista Waterman, the first team All-NEC defender.
First corner coming up.
Usually it's Bardez from that side of the field. The lefty. And Taylor Smith has been a big target. She is on the far post right now, about 9 yards away. Number 23. Bardez lobs it up there over the head of Smith. Still bouncing around, and Waterman is able to clear.
Yeah, Blue Devils set it up nicely. They had another opportunity with a player behind Smith if the ball went too high. A little bit of wind swirling, and it kind of took that ball a little off course.
Such an exciting day for these players, these coaches, the trainers, the family and friends to wait all season, all career for a day like this. Fitzgerald with a long throw out to Maddie Robbins.
By the way, no relation. Same spelling of the last name. But my daughter's Addie Robbins.
Yeah, you must do a double take every time I say that. Hogan, who had a great pass to lead Bardez to a goal in the semifinal, has been dominating in the midfield. We're scoreless and just underway. Almost 7 minutes in here in the championship of the Northeast Conference. We thank you for joining us on ESPN3 and NECFrontRow.com. FDU ball here.
Well, McLaughlin playing side to side. Again, coming back from injury and played well in the semifinal win over Sacred Heart.
She was a definite factor. Played a little over 15 minutes. Central scored 2 goals when McLaughlin was in the game.
One of those players, and Mick Darcy talked about it, her ability to be everywhere and make everyone on her team a little bit better.
Altarizio plays it up to Hogan. Sheffro. Chance here for FDU.
Is that Skansberg?
Skansberg. And a foul against the Knights. FDU, their third undefeated conference season. They did it in 2004 and 2015. And then again this year.
The 15 team was the one that earned the NEC Tournament Championship.
Bardez with a long lead to Cavello. She is onside but can't get there in time.
Fitzgerald coming out. Good idea. Pretty good timing, and Fitzgerald breaks it up.
Covello had a goal in the final last year for Central Connecticut. The speedster on the far side of the field. Inzerillo tried to leave it to McLaughlin, but FDU intercepts. Jackson Bennett, she played so well in the semis. A push, and it is called. Alexian Marquis, about 20 yards away, bit it. And
about 5 yards from a penalty kick.
It was. Good opportunity here for FDU. 9 minutes in.
And a good ball up. 1-on-3. As Hogan crashes down, but an opportunity here for the Knights.
See if they let Maddie Robbins take this one.
You're right. That's gonna. I'm hearing that very acutely.
Our lead official is Noel Cotterell, directing traffic down there. Direct kick here for Maddie Robbins, a sophomore from Ontario. 2 goals on the year. Amanda McQuillan is the goalkeeper for Central Connecticut. Robbins, shot, poked aside by McQuillan. What a save.
Went to the left of the 4-player wall and nearly found that corner post, except for McQuillan on the dive. 49th save of the year.
She has 7 shutouts this year, 10 victories. Member of the Irish national team, Amanda McQuillan. That was a clutch play. McLaughlin spins around her defender, now Tachibana. Off to Allie O'Rourke, one of the top scorers for Central Connecticut, and it's Blue Devil ball, touched last by Leah Egner. Hogan beats her defender. Crossing pass is broken up by Paula Roos.
Works, though, for the Blue Devils. They'll get the corner from that far right side.
Erica Bardez, the junior, who had 2 goals in the semi, will handle this.
They looked for Smith on the back post last time with a high arcing pass.
Same direction toward the head of Smith, popped up in the air and headed out of there by FDU. Some loose rebounds here. Smith jostling. FDU is going to come away with it. It's Marquis. And in hockey, they'd call that an icing.
Yes. McLaughlin coming from far off the play. And again, to show that the motor that McDarcy says she's got, and her ability to get involved in the play no matter where she starts out.
Taylor Smith off to Bardez. To the center of the field, and Inzerillo. Hogan. O'Rourke. Her low shot. Saved by Fitzgerald.
Both goalkeepers early with the dive. Good opportunities for both squads.
Fitzgerald, the goalkeeper of the year, and what a collision.
Wow.
Oh, Bardez was run over by Samantha Roth. I don't know which way they call this. They just kind of collided. Oh, Bardez really took the brunt of that.
Right in front of the central bench. Look at it again. And boy, no fault either way.
No.
Just an unfortunate collision and full speed.
That'll knock the wind out of you.
Sure. Atkinson still down, or Bardez, excuse me. The junior out of Montvale. So, Roth.
Erica Bardez, first-team All-NEC player, Pascack Hills High School in New Jersey. She has 4 goals this year, including 2 in the semifinal, and they going to have to take her out for a little while, it looks like. Slow to get up, and Roth also took a hard shot in that collision, the midfielder for FDU.
There's Roth. She looks okay, and Bardez looks like she wants to stay, but certainly must come off. She wants to go right back in. She will stand and be ready to sub in at the next opportunity.
Abby Chase in briefly here for Central Connecticut to replace her. And we're ready for play again.
See if she can come right back in. Nope.
About 13 minutes gone by, still scoreless here in the championship match of the NEC.
And Bardez checks back in.
Tough kid.
Playing for a championship.
Gets her head on it right away. Skansberg broken up by Bardez. And she has the longest leg out there, I think. She can really clear the ball. She can center it. Really a fine player on defense or offense. Bardez again.
Boy, the ball seems to find her a lot, too.
Smith clears it out. Mark, you're a bit of a historian here at Central Connecticut State.
All right, pressure's on.
Women's soccer, one of the most successful programs in the history of the school, no?
Yes, 9 Northeast Conference championships.
Any other sports that even compare?
The cross-country team would come to mind. On the men's side, the women just won another NEC title a week ago outside of New Britain. But the men's team, I would have to look up how many titles that the men's 9 as well. So an even matchup between men's cross-country and women's soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't take all the credit because I have the best SID in the country. Tom Pinson's next to me, helping me, nudging me along.
Covello plays it back toward midfield, and now back to Shawnee Altarizio, the senior defender. Central Connecticut going to play this one through the back with their keeper, and now Covello gets a little run out. Trying to lead McLaughlin. Skansberg. And touched by O'Rourke.
Great
Nice
crowd. Yeah, boy, Jenks, we are reading each other's minds. Yeah, outstanding crowd. You know, you see on the far side the people hanging on the fence, but there's close to 1,000, I would say, in the grandstand on our side of the pitch.
Yes. And Central Connecticut will have it. Central made the NCAAs last year. They lost to Georgetown in the tournament. They do have the lone NEC win in the Big Dance back in 2003 against Boston College. Selection show 4:30 tomorrow afternoon on NCAA.com.
And yes, and the tournament begins. The Women's College Cup begins on the 15th.
In the direction of McQuillan. No sweat. Clears it out to O'Rourke. Well played, evenly played match so far here in New Britain. 28-20 left in the first half.
Had Corvello streaking down into that corner. There she goes again.
Mick Darcy, the veteran coach, shouting out some instructions. 203 career victories. His 20th year here as the head coach. His teams have outscored opponents this year coming into the tournament 23-2. So they're very aggressive in the first half and then just kind of maintaining the lead in second halves.
Yeah, both teams really like to strike quickly and then make you play from behind and use your aggression against you.
Hogan centers to McLaughlin. O'Rourke. Her shot. Poked aside. Rebound. McLaughlin. Goal! Central takes a 1-0 lead. Roma McLaughlin with her 10th goal of the year. Just loitering in front, right place, right time.
Yeah, outstanding movement by the Blue Devils. They get into the box and then kind of pinball. FDU not able to clear. And right in the middle of the box. Watch again, McLaughlin. Patience. Controls and finds that short side. And McLaughlin picking up her 10th goal of the season.
Nobody was marking her, and she was able to use the patience and just kind of settle and get a good shot off. 23 points this year. Came into this game second in the NEC in points behind Alyssa McGee, who was the leading scorer for St. Francis U. 1-0 Blue Devils. And this in the direction of McLaughlin again, but it went off her back hip.
Goal scored by number 6, Rowan McLaughlin.
Keep in mind, McLaughlin had not played lately. She played 15 minutes in the semi. It was banged up, but started this one and has been a factor already.
Dave, the Blue Devils controlling the midfield area and the push, the rush, several opportunities like this one they've got now with Hogan.
A lot of speed and strength on this Central team. Here's Maddie Robbins. 2-on-4, and it's broken up by Smith. Tachibana now.
Well, Smith just held her ground, and Robbins dribbled right into traffic.
Tachibana is one of the better ball handlers, one of the better technical players in the league. Now Cavello, and that's broken up by Roos.
And the Blue Devils have been successful going to that right side. Cavello has put a lot of pressure with her speed up that far sideline.
Both of these teams using a number of foreign players, especially FDU, 30 of their 20 in the rotation, born outside the United States. Smith sending it in off the head of Waterman. Barthez and Roth again collide. That's been a physical matchup.
It has. We've seen physical play, but clean, hard, soccer, physicality that's legal.
Yes. Off the head of Bree Williams to Tachibana and O'Rourke.
Thought maybe Cavallo was going to go to the corner. Cavello.
Last time somebody won back-to-back in the NEC, it was Central Connecticut, 2004, 2005.
Blue Devils pushing up a little bit. The defenders kind of hanging around the midfield stripe. Trying to add to the offensive attack.
Cavello trying to beat Roos, turns it inside. Cavello, couple nifty moves, but taken away by Waterman. And a whistle. There's an FDU player down. It's Roos.
Might have a handball as
Okay.
well. I don't know.
Roos very slow to get up.
Let's see what happens here. Cavello, again, her speed and the ability to possess. They worked it from right to left on the goal, and this time has it taken away. And the handball may have come right there.
Roos just got her legs tied up as Cavello crossed over on her.
Central trying to set up an attack and pressure.
Ruff. Marquis, Skansberg, and FDU pushed off.
Well, Marquis had an opportunity. Nice job possessing on the pass. Eric Tepe, the fifth-year head coach of FDU, not happy at the moment with some of the calls. Several times now, FDU caught pushing near the box.
Yeah, I don't blame him on that one. There was not much there. And touched last by Jackson Bennett, the senior from Toronto. McLaughlin. Central so aggressive.
And Cirillo couldn't work out of the double team.
FDU had the one good chance on the direct kick from about 22 yards out, straight on, but it was saved by Amanda McQuillan. Now Marquis on the run, 1-on-2, and broken up nicely by Taylor Smith.
Smith with the great tackle and keeps that ball from away from Marquis and her opportunity to cross. She was looking for a teammate to come down, streaking down the left side, but Smith kicked it away.
Smith, a sophomore from Mansfield, Massachusetts. Fast, physical defender. Still bouncing around. Chance here for the Knights. Waterman. And that was blocked by Bree Williams.
2 blocks by the Blue Devils. Robbins got blocked initially from the middle. And then that second block, it'll be FDU trying to maintain possession with the throw in, and Blue Devil defense has been challenged here in the last moment or so by FDU.
Roma McLaughlin scored unassisted for Central Connecticut, and that's been it so far in terms of offense. 21-25 left in the first half here in the championship. Waterman clears past midfield to Bennett in the direction of Marquis, and she is met quickly by McQuillan.
McQuillan coming way out. That ball bouncing around. Almost had an opportunity for Marquis.
Good block by Robbins, but Smith pushes her off the ball. A little dangerous there, but McQuillan.
Solid pressure by FDU the last 2-3 minutes.
Indeed. Bardez. Roma McLaughlin on the chase. A little wrestling going on down there near the goal line.
About 25 minutes in.
Fitzgerald directing traffic. First team All-NEC. 8 shutouts this year. Wasn't much she could do on the McLaughlin goal. She was left open in front, point-blank shot. Covello lost it. Bennett. Roth, take it away. Inzerillo. Bardez trying to find Covello over the head of Waterman, and Covello can't get there. She collided with one of the FDU defenders who wanted a call. FDU sideline bemoaning that one.
Yeah, you see there's the collision right at the end after Fitzgerald had secured the ball.
Bardez clears it again. What a weapon she is. Julia Shea back to Waterman. Ooh, another big collision as O'Rourke ran into, looked like Chloe Sheffro.
So, yeah, see it again. Yes, O'Rourke and Sheffro and FDU. Now this looks like Robbins will try to get it deep.
Robbins, hard-nosed, emotional player out of Ontario. Off the head of one of the Knights, and now Roth. Ridden off by Inzerillo, and Roth touched that last. It'll be a goal kick here for Central, at least it should be.
Ooh, well, line judge saying Inzerillo touched it last.
That was not a good call. FDU gets a corner here with Skansberg. Skansberg. Leaping grab by McQuillan.
Tried to chip it in front. McQuillan reading it nicely.
Hogan. Toward Inzerillo. She has help with Bardez if she sees her. Bardez was open. Here's Roth.
Inzerillo wanted a whistle, didn't get one.
Hogan takes it away. Got a 3-on-5, but McLaughlin the trailer. Covello. Offside. I don't know about that either.
Blue Devils had worked it wide, spreading the field, looked for the cross into the box, but the whistle stops it.
Seemed like Waterman was inside the 18.
Check out McQuillan on the last corner kick for FDU.
O'Rourke playing with a broken hand, not afraid to stick her nose in there and break up plays.
Looked like a handball against FDU.
Leah Egner. She's been quiet. 4 goals on the year. And now Tess Atkinson will enter the game, replacing Covello.
Atkinson from the next town over here from New Britain, Connecticut. She's from Berlin, a junior. Has 6 points on the season.
Covello's been doing a lot of running. She'll get a little breast here. Played back to Taylor Smith. About 30 minutes gone by here in the championship. Central Connecticut leading it 1-0.
Almost had that one.
Yeah, over the press box. Marquis pushed down, no call. McLaughlin. Altarizio to Atkinson, and it's touched last by FDU.
Most of Central's attack in the first half coming from the right side.
Hogan stops on a dime. Cannot beat Skansberg.
Skansberg does a nice job making sure it doesn't go over the end line for a corner. Although now it does.
Looked like Egner touched it last, so Vardez will come across for a corner kick for Central Connecticut. If the Blue Devils can put this one in, they really take a huge advantage. Open this game up. Vardez over everyone's head. That was a bad one.
It's been tough to control those with the wind. We see the flag out by the softball field straight ahead. It's blowing pretty brisk from our right to left.
Which makes sense. It took that one over the crossbar and toward the track. Williams back to Altarizio, the senior, two-time Defensive Player of the Year here in the NEC.
And the defense now for Central getting a little more aggressive at the midfield area.
Waterman and McLaughlin, two of the best players in the league. McLaughlin nutmegged her, but then Waterman clears it out.
Ball last touched by FDU, so an opportunity for the Blue Devils.
For information on how you can receive a discount on your next stay at any Choice Hotel property nationwide, simply visit the NEC's website, northeastconference.org, and click on the Corporate Partners link to learn more. Waterman heads it aside. Nice play to Bennett. Jackson Bennett off to Roth. Sophia Albertson is in there. Good offensive player for FDU. And the cross to Egner. Pops it up toward the goal. Headed toward the crossbar and over. Albertson.
FDU with some might in the middle and an opportunity. Just a little bit too high, and they'll run a sub in and give a rest to Samantha Roth.
Isabel Udovic will come in for FDU. Fans, you can follow the Northeast Conference on all your favorite social networking sites at NEC Sports. Get exclusive content and interact with the NEC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. Also, be sure to check out the NEC's official website, northeastconference.org. All the latest news and notes from around the NEC. So much good content put out by the NEC day in and day out. Central Connecticut leading FDU 1-0 here. 11 minutes left in the first half of the Women's Soccer Championship. Headed by Smith. Headed again by Hogan. FDU unable to clear. Hogan dribbling through the Knights like they're cones and then tripped up.
A good show of sportsmanship by FDU's Paula Roos.
So Vardez looked like she will be the one selected to take this direct kick for Central Connecticut.
They'll set that wall.
About 29, 30 yards away here. Fitzgerald is the goalkeeper for FDU. Bardez toward the crossbar and over and wide.
Got a good look.
Central's going to bring a sub in. Sydney Dorman from the NEC All-Rookie team out of North Granby, Connecticut, a freshman. As Inzerillo takes a rest. Couldn't connect with McLaughlin. Bennett lost it. And it goes out off of Tess Atkinson. McLaughlin. Good D by Udovic. Sophomore from Burlington, Ontario.
Central pushes up now for the throw in. And I think this game is, in the first half, Dave, it's been a little bit about the speed and quickness of Central against more of the physical style, I think, of FDU.
I'd agree with that. Mick Darcy talked about converting our legitimate chances. And they had one big one in front that McLaughlin was able to convert. They've had a few corners as well, but no great looks. Central keeps it here. 7:50 left in the first half. We'll have interviews, features, stats, highlights coming up at the half. Stopped by Bardez in the direction of McLaughlin. Trying to control it, cannot. And that was a high kick near the head of the defender, Roos. Atkinson pushed off the ball, and it was touched last by Udovic.
FDU wants these final 7 minutes. They've got to be aggressive and try. First, they've got to get played more dominant in their offensive end and try to put a little bit more pressure on the Blue Devil defense before the break. You talked about it early. Central outstanding when it has a lead in the second half. They can play keep away.
Ooh, Atkinson trips, and Skansberg had a hand on her. Again, if you're just joining us, FDU won the only matchup between the teams this year in Teaneck, 1-0 in double overtime. Central Connecticut has won 8 straight matches entering this one. Bardez from the logo. Loose ball cleared out by FDU. Run down by Fitzgerald.
Central Connecticut playing with a 1-goal advantage, being a little more aggressive. Only one defender back in the defensive zone as they try to put more pressure on the FDU goal.
Here's a stat that is really illustrative when it comes to Mick Darcy's style. Shots this year entering this tournament in the first half, 120 for Central Connecticut, 60 for their opponents. Particularly aggressive in the first. Altarizio with the D. About 5 minutes left in the first here. Central Connecticut 1-0. And a substitution for FDU as Naomi Hausen, a freshman, enters.
From Freiburg, Germany. A couple of German natives on this squad.
Chloe Sheffro comes out of the lineup. McLaughlin with the big boot. Albertson 2 wide. Central should have this one. Bardez with a throw in over the head of Hogan. Bennett. Off to Hausen, but taken away. Tachibana, the other number 9.
And you see the quickness of the Blue Devils. Tachibana was able to intercept at the midfield area and try a quick counter.
FDU has not had many offensive chances in this one.
No, it's been a struggle to get it out of the zone. It takes so much effort and player power, if you will, that they're not organized once they get into the front, into the offensive zone.
Shawnee Altarizio is setting up for this kick. Shawnee leans into it off the head of Waterman. Tachibana cannot find help. Taken away. Maddie Robbins. Dangerous in the open field. Albertson. There's a D by Bardez. That ref is just getting in the way of everything.
He's trying not to. It's like he got a magnet for the ball.
Must be the orange shirt.
So everybody runs over the cones in the road anyway, right? Ashley Wright there, unable to control, and Central now with a 2-minute opportunity. Both squads trying to take a little extra momentum into the locker room.
Bardez finds Atkinson, gets it right back, and that play going nowhere. FDU will have it. Minute 40 left in the first. Bardez tried to connect with McLaughlin, who falls and gets stepped on, got kicked in the head by Waterman inadvertently. Waterman just trying to step over her there as she fell, and it looked like she caught her in the side of the head. She's going to stay in. FDU, as they make a clock adjustment here. 1:24 will be the time on the ticker here. After the injury, they put a few seconds back on. Now the referee asks for 1:22, Noel Cotterell. Julia Shea will throw in for FDU. Here are the waiting moments of the first half. Central Connecticut trying to repeat as champs, and they have looked like champs here today. Ball has been in this end for much of the afternoon. Taylor Smith takes her time, finds McLaughlin.
1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
Udovic centers. Wrong team. O'Rourke heads it aside. Skansberg with a low shot, knocked aside by Smith. McLaughlin. Not in a rush. A one-time header by Dorman. Keeps it going in the right direction, but played back to Fitzgerald. Dorman again.
10, 9,
10 seconds left in the half.
7, 6, 5,
And that will just about do it.
3, 2,
First half of play here in New Britain. Roma McLaughlin with a goal early in the first. And that's been it. Central Connecticut has dominated the time of possession, had better field position. They lead it 1-0 as the teams head into the locker room on a chilly, overcast day in New Britain. The winner gets the automatic bid here in the NEC. Looks like Mark is ready with the head coach of Central, Mick Darcy.
All right, thanks, Dave. Mick, what'd you think of the first half? What'd you do well?
Well, we got the goal, which was very important. Great finish from Roma, and kind of settled us down a little bit. But it's, I don't think the game really has settled down yet. We need to do a better job of just keeping the ball and spreading it out. But the goal was important.
Any adjustments for the second half in particular?
I think you just need to keep the ball better. I think as soon as we move the ball around, the openings pop up, and we're able to create chances from there. We just haven't done enough of it yet.
All right, thank you.
Right,
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, back to you, Dave.
All right, Mark, we'll step aside here. When we come back, we'll have a feature from the NEC, some stats, some highlights, and then the second half of play. Roma McLaughlin off the rebound scores the only goal of this game. And the Blue Devils in front, 1-0 on ESPN3 and NEC Front Row.
Hey Bree, can we grab you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
We just want to ask you a few questions. So, how'd you get into soccer?
I first got into soccer when I was a little girl. My parents signed me up. And when I was too young, I used to play with my sister and her friends. So that's how I really started playing soccer, and I really liked it. So,
What's your go-to workout song?
probably Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
When you're not practicing, what do you like to do for fun?
I definitely like to lay in bed and watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Your coach has led CCSU to 7 of the program's 9 conference championships. What would you say he does that sets you guys apart?
I think he definitely does a good job, just not focusing on soccer, but things off the field too. So he's big into us volunteering with the community, just us being good in the classroom, and he always makes everything a competition for us. So every year he recruits new personnel, and they really fit our team dynamic really well. So,
any words of wisdom he gives you?
Find a way.
What's the best part about this tournament being on home turf?
Definitely the crowd, the vibes. They're just good vibes all around. We're gonna have a lot of support, so definitely the best part.
What do you miss most about your hometown?
Probably the pizza.
Which leads us to our next one. What's one food that you can't live without?
Definitely steak.
Thanksgiving's coming up. Do you and your family have any traditions?
We usually go to Florida to visit my mom's parents.
What's your dream vacation?
Bora Bora.
All-time favorite film?
Probably The Blind Side.
What's the last show that you binge watched?
Love Island, the UK version.
If you could meet any celebrity, who would it be?
Probably Kylie Jenner.
What's your biggest fear?
Dying in an airplane crash.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Who's your real life hero?
My dad.
What has been your favorite moment in your athletic career?
Probably winning the NEC tournament last year on our home field. That was a good feeling.
Do you have any pregame rituals?
Yeah, we're all superstitious, but I usually wear the same sports bra and spandex, and I always kiss my grandpa's bracelet.
How do you like to celebrate a victory?
Definitely just hanging out with the team afterwards, listening to some good music, having a good time, you know?
Finally, what's the mindset for today's game against Sacred Heart?
Definitely just to give everything we have. We know we're a good side, we know they're a good side, and we know it's going to be a good game, so we're ready. We've been preparing for this since August, so we're ready.
All right, thanks, Bree.
I'm Brianna Williams, and now you know.
We didn't know how much Roma McLaughlin would play coming into this tournament, the NEC Midfielder of the Year, but play she has.
Yes, and early on, showing patience. And then when the ball comes to her, just a little pop to the top left. And there's your goal, Dave, and a 1-0 Central lead.
Her only goal here in the first half, her 10th goal of the season. Stats in the second half coming your way after this. As part of its commitment to good sportsmanship, the NEC continues to support the NCAA's Respect campaign, a program designed to enhance awareness of sportsmanship both on campus and within the community. Respect, it's the name of the game. Dave Popkin, Mark Robbins back with you here at Central Connecticut. The Blue Devils with a 1-0 lead. Shots and saves even, corners, fouls even. Central's gone offsides twice, but you get the idea. Very evenly played first half here at the Central Connecticut soccer field. We're back with the second half in just a moment on ESPN3 and NECFrontRow.com. Just about set for the second half here at Central Connecticut. The top-seeded Blue Devils leading it 1-0 over FDU. We'll send it down to the field. Mark Robbins standing by with the head coach of the Knights, Eric Tepe.
Thank you very much, Dave. Eric, what do you need to do in the second half? What type of adjustments are you going to make?
Well, I just think we need to be a little bit more aggressive. I thought Central did a real good job in the first 15 minutes. They really put us on our heels. I thought we settled in, and then we gave up what I considered a soft goal on our end. And then I think we really just needed to get to halftime, which we did. So hopefully we can look to kind of exploit some of the spaces that they all leaving open, but we're just not finding the ball in that gap. So I think it's a little bit of we got to commit, we got to challenge a little bit more. I thought Central did a great job of winning the first balls every single time, and we can't let that happen because that just gives them way too much possession.
Well, thank you very much. I wish you the best.
All right, thank you.
All right. Dave, back to you.
Okay, Mark. A reminder that today's game is brought to you by Next. Looking for a job? Visit next.com and get hired faster. Amanda Fitzgerald, co-goalkeeper of the year, warming up for FDU. Will this be her final collegiate game, or will she be headed to the NCAA tournament on the 15th? And on the other side, Erica Bardez, 2 goals in the semifinals and some strong play in the first half. Took a hard shot to the sternum in the first half of play, went down but came right back in. She's had a couple of collisions with Samantha Roth of FDU, one of the best players in this tournament. The sun has come out. 45 minutes to go, maybe more, here in New Britain. Central Connecticut trying to repeat as champs. FDU trying to win for just the second time ever in their program's history. Amanda McQuillan, the sophomore, will have a couple more years after this, but can she go for the second straight year? Both of these goalkeepers sub-1 goals against average this year, in the 0.7 range.
And Dave, talk real quick with Eric Tepe in his 5th year at FDU, and kind of feels like they left some opportunities out there, and if it's the style that they can kind of dictate their style here in the second half, they'll have plenty more chances, and feels pretty confident that they'll finish a couple of times.
FDU had a fairly clean look at a direct kick from about 23 yards out in the first half, but Amanda McQuillan made a nice save on it. The ball was definitely in the offensive third of Central Connecticut more than FDU's. So here come the Blue Devils. McLaughlin has looked okay. She gets the second half start as well.
Yeah, it's certainly an opportunity for Central to do what they like to do. We mentioned it in the beginning of the game. 25-0 and 3 ties for this squad in the last 28 games here on this field. So it is tough to beat Central Connecticut, and you've got to do it now when you're down a goal going into the second half. Central trying to win its 10th Northeast Conference championship in women's soccer, and that would break a tie for the most in the athletic program among the teams with the men's cross country program.
Sometimes it just comes down to a lucky bounce, a ricochet. See what happens here in the second half. The Blue Devils are ready. Knights are still huddled up. FDU beat Bryant to get here. Central Connecticut defeated Sacred Heart. Underway in the second. Oh, big push by Alexian Marquis, knocking down Bree Williams. Sending a message here early in the second half.
Yes, on the replay from behind, and a little forearm to the back, the lower back.
That could have been a yellow card.
Not what we would call a marquee performance.
No, very nice. Bardez sends it on goal, but grabbed by Fitzgerald.
Interesting that O'Rourke does the throw-ins with the left hand so heavily taped.
Yes, very strange. Trying to get it to Covello, who sat for about the last 15 minutes of the first half. Paula Roos trying to clear it out to midfield to Bennett. Hogan regains for the Devils. O'Rourke.
Covello just couldn't get there in time for Central. So
Waterman in the direction of Marquis. Skansberg. Off to Egner. In the middle for Bennett. Bardez with the clear. Robbins finds a target, and here's a shot wide by Sheffro. Chloe Sheffro, the junior from Ontario. McQuillan with the boomer against the wind. O'Rourke leading Cavello. Played back to Fitzgerald.
And while that is a loss of possession for Central, it's just continues to keep pressure on FDU in its defensive zone. And
a whistle away from the play. What was that? That was 30 yards behind the ball.
Sure, I don't know. And it seemed like FDU had possession up front too.
Roos inaccurate there. O'Rourke. Skansberg. Egner. Marquis. Waterman pops it up. Oh. And Skansberg hit on the front of the head by the ball, on the back of her neck by the defender.
Allison O'Rourke, dangerous play. Ruled. And an opportunity now.
Robbins has the wind here, can certainly get it inside the 18. And does so in the direction of Waterman. Egner can't control it. Tachibana. Robbins with a nice ball. Marquis tried to run onto it and collides with Smith, and Smith heads it aside. And she is shaken up. Just landed hard.
And it's going to go to Central. They'll stop the clock as Taylor Smith is down.
Legs got tangled up. Both really just going for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
McLaughlin trying to control. Somebody had a hand on her. Getting
a little
very
do-si-do right there at midfield, huh?
Oh, getting very physical here.
Anna Williams throwing Marquis. Well, Marquis slow to get up. Looked like they were arm in arm for a moment, and then Marquis was flung to the ground. See it again. I think Central is catching a break here. Over the back and
yeah.
You know.
Williams threw her.
Yeah.
That's like a WWE move.
That should be in wrestling is 2 points. Yeah, down. They didn't ask her if she could do that in the NEC halftime feature.
No.
On Brianna Williams. Favorite takedown was not one of the questions.
Central gets the benefit of that call. See if they can take advantage. Bardez. Knocked away by Julia Shea. Hogan to Bardez, and that's out.
See if FDU can build something from the back here. It has been difficult for the Knights to really possess and move up the field in a united attack.
Sheffro, her pass intercepted, but Skansberg takes it back. O'Rourke. Neither team's been able to keep it for more than 6 or 7 seconds here. McLaughlin, Tachibana, and Cavello zigged when she should have zagged. Had a lot of space there down the right sideline.
Yes.
Off the head of Altarizio. Smith, she's been terrific in this tournament. Waterman heads it away.
FDU trying to build with the long ball, try to get up and push the pace a little bit. Central, I think, Dave, has come out in this half as we expected they might, and been a little bit more conservative than in the first half with the 1-goal advantage. And they're not trying to ice anything, but being more deliberate.
NEC Front Row is the official online digital network of the Northeast Conference with live HD webcasts, highlight packages, and more. This site is a one-stop destination for NEC fans. Also, the new NEC On the Run streaming app is now available for Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Android TV, as well as iOS and Android mobile devices. Best of all, NEC Front Row content is always free. Enjoy the best seat in the house at necfrontrow.com. 1-0 Central Connecticut. About 8 minutes into the second half, Dave Popkin along with Mark Robbins and our producer-director Brad Kasnet, our crew here in New Britain, Connecticut. O'Rourke. Sheffro double teamed. Cavello takes it away. Tachibana to Cavello. Who's going to get there first? It's Waterman. And that'll be a corner kick for Central Connecticut.
Excellent job, though, Waterman getting there because the Blue Devils had numbers. The cross was coming from Cavello, but a half a step ahead was Waterman. If she doesn't get there, there's a ball right into the box. First corner of the second half, I believe, for Central.
Erica Bardez will handle it. Often looks for Smith. And this one is hooking over the crossbar. She went for it on her own that time.
Tried to bend one in. Well, this is where FDU needs a little bit more success in the midfield area. Trying to spread and then go.
Bennett, Altarizio. Looked like it might have hit her arm.
Central playing 3 back, though.
Marquis. And broken up. Good play by Bree Williams. And Zarillo. Oh, what a collision again on that far side. Looked like Shea. FDU ball.
Just trickling out on that far side.
Central's defense has been excellent. FDU has not had many good looks at McQuillan, and Bennett hits the deck, and FDU will have a free kick here.
Robbins will take it, and we'll see if the formation is successful for FDU.
Hogan tripped her up. Robbins directing traffic from midfield. Over the head of Marquis, not over the head of Smith. Oh, another big collision. And that's going to go against the Knights.
Yeah.
Jackson Bennett.
A collision bumping into, is that Inzarello?
Yeah, two number 12s. You think these players want this match? Look at this. Just headlong, literally.
Of course, the winner, part of the 64-team field, the Women's College Cup. The selection show tomorrow, Monday, and then the 15th of November, first round action around the country. December 5th, I believe, is the College Cup final. Florida State, the defending national champion.
Doing a little better in women's soccer than they are in football these days.
Although they had a big win against BC yesterday. Rallied late.
It's been tough. Lost their coach, lost to Miami.
Your smile got a little wider when you said that.
Got to represent. Here's Bennett. Now Smith in the direction of Cavello. Cavello pushed. And she cannot turn the corner. And they'll give it to Central. There have been some questionable calls here in the final. About 13 minutes into the second half. Still no scoring in this second stanza. Roma McLaughlin scored in the first half for Central at the 17-minute mark. O'Rourke's throw in comes to McLaughlin and back. Neither team able to put together too much offensively in this one. Not a lot of passing continuity. McLaughlin and Waterman clears. Wow. It's a very physical play.
Both teams trying to just establish a little control of the midfield area.
Easy for McQuillan. Sophomore from Ireland, was on the NEC All-Rookie team last year. Altarizio. McLaughlin. Tachibana. Way over to Bardez. And her centering shot over the crossbar and wide.
Well, kind of a textbook attack there by the Blue Devils. They came up wide, found an opportunity from that far left wing for Bardella to let one fly.
Cavello trying to run onto this one, and a bicycle kick by Roos. And it works for FDU. They get a little momentum here. Skansberg tied up with Williams.
That's the quickness that the Blue Devils have in the midfield area to get to balls on the pass in the middle, in the open holes. They close quickly.
Off the head of Williams to Tachibana. Smith will quarterback this one. Hogan. Bardez leading in Zarillo. And looked like a handball against Roth. They're going to give the ball to FDU.
I thought I saw what you saw as well, Dave.
Yeah.
Good job. Maybe FDU selling it a little bit. FDU's done a nice job in the second half keeping Roma McLaughlin, well marked. She has not put her foot on too many balls this half.
Chance here for McLaughlin. Can she beat Waterman? No. Few players do. Krista Waterman, the sophomore from Perry Hall, Maryland. Physical, demanding player, wins challenges, first team All-League.
Still so much time to play, Dave, but you get the sense that it's getting a little bit tight, things on the FDU side.
Tachibana. A lot of room here for Cavello if she breaks out right. And it went off of Jenna to FDU's Roos. O'Rourke. And FDU touched that last.
O'Rourke with that broken left hand, and what doesn't slow her down at all, and again even makes the throw-ins and accurate.
Off the rebound of Waterman's head, and a no call there. Some incidental contact. McLaughlin and Skansberg.
Well, Inzarella came from the far side of the play to run that down and grab possession for Central Connecticut. The fence hanging is growing, increasing over on that far side.
Yeah, nice crowd here on a chilly afternoon in New Britain on Championship Sunday in the NEC Women's Soccer Championship. Central Connecticut trying to repeat. They got an early goal from their sophomore midfielder Roma McLaughlin. Not too many chances beyond that on either side. .26.5 left in regulation. Off the head of Roos and a collision. She was pushed by McLaughlin. Took one to the midsection. Made a lot of bumps and bruises after this one. One team won't feel it. They'll be hoisting the championship trophy. Skansberg. Not much room to operate. Smith clears. McLaughlin has a couple of options. She decides I'm the best option. Off to Tachibana. Tachibana leading Hogan. Can she stop it? Yes. Hogan off to McLaughlin. Spun down. No call.
I think it's a good no call.
Tachibana. Off to Hogan again as they reset. Hogan beats the defender. Hogan just dribbles it toward the near post as she falls. Mick Dorsey not happy. Williams. Tachibana everywhere here in the second. Egner. Hustled off the ball by O'Rourke.
Good job by the Blue Devil defense. Central able to clear. FDU a little bit more purposeful with its passes over the last couple of minutes.
Waterman into the middle. A little dangerous there. Udovic
had just turned and started back toward the defensive side when that ball came in, so she had to quickly readjust and try to chase it down and wasn't able to.
21 minutes gone by here in the second half. And O'Rourke to throw in for Central Connecticut.
You see Marquis getting a rest.
Marquis hasn't touched it much in the second half. She's the leading goal scorer for FDU with 6 on the year. Enzerillo. Enzerillo keeps it. She still has it. Broken up by that FDUD. Robbins coming back to help.
A big play by Maddie Robbins to get into that passing lane, deflect the ball. Beautiful spin by Inzarello, and that opened up the box for her.
Off the corner kick, saved by Fitzgerald. They did the short corner move over to Vardez. Central trying to get a little tricky there. Udovic tried to lead Egner, broken up by O'Rourke. Udovic hassling Hogan. They'll say FDU touched it last.
See if FDU starts to move its defense line up, maybe just on the other side, the offensive side of the midfield stripe, and see if they can force the issue against the Blue Devils.
It's getting to be that time. Altarizio and Williams controlling the middle. O'Rourke beats one. Atkinson. Williams. Hogan trying to get that ricochet. Skansberg. Pushed by Williams, and FDU will have it. Skansberg, the talented midfielder from Stockholm, Sweden. Freshman on the NEC All-Rookie team. Egner. Egner into the box. Loose ball. Headed. And Bennett couldn't get there. Egner off her head. O'Rourke trying to clear. McLaughlin tied up with Skansberg. A mad scramble here, and the shot is wide by Skansberg.
Best effort, best opportunity, I think, in the match, certainly in the second half for FDU, and it was started by Egner. A beautiful ball into the box, and Blue Devils fortunate defensively to get it out.
FDU will have it at midfield here. Approaching 20 minutes left in regulation. Bennett turns into about 3 white jerseys. Krista Waterman, and that's off of Atkinson. O'Rourke trying to lead McLaughlin, and Waterman is the stopper back there. Nice play by O'Rourke off the head of McLaughlin. Trickles back inside the 18 to Fitzgerald. Along with Mark Robbins, Dave Popkin with you in New Britain, 1-0. Central Connecticut on top here in the NEC Women's Soccer Championship. We thank you for joining us. No scoring here in the second half thus far. McLaughlin scored in the first for Central. Albertson. And she goes down.
Quite a tumble.
Sophia Albertson, good size and speed, 5'10" junior from Stockholm as well. Tripped up by
did a little half handstand there. Nice job to really protect herself. Here's Robbins with an opportunity.
Yeah, Bree Williams with that last foul. So here is Maddie Robbins. Leans into it, off the head of Smith. Tachibana plays it out toward midfield. Broken up by Hogan. That's into the box, headed aside by Altarizio. Albertson jostling, and it goes across the goal line. Goal kick here for Central Connecticut with 18.5 to go. 18.5 from back-to-back championships as Egner comes off and Marquis is back in. Alexian Marquis. First year, short of credit, couldn't play. Last year, torn ACL, couldn't play. Just kind of getting her legs under her here in her junior year, and she is FDU's leading scorer. Can she get on the board in the most important game of the year? Knocked out by Smith.
FDU has done a nice job of grabbing some momentum, kind of tilting the field toward their offensive side. The finishes have still yet to come.
Shea's long throw in, headed backwards and out off of Marquis. Smith didn't like what she saw there. McQuillan will change field over to Altarizio. Atkinson had it broken up, didn't come to the ball. O'Rourke. Waterman. Good lead there for Bennett. But Altarizio there as usual. That deflected by Shawnee as well. Udovic. Udovic keeping it on the ground to Hausen. Central gets it back. O'Rourke.
Atkinson does a nice job of just touching that. Well, it was in play, and it rolled another 15 yards into the Central offensive zone. What's the whistle for?
Clock stops as Altarizio gets her cleat back on. Trying to lead McLaughlin. Fitzgerald comes up and pounds one out of there. Udovic, Robbins, pushes down Atkinson.
It's a little grab with the left hand. You know, when you look at McLaughlin here in the second half, Dave, everywhere she goes, Waterman right there with her, marking her step for step.
It's good coaching. Smith to Tachibana. Nice spin. McLaughlin. Tachibana to the wrong team. 15.5 to go. O'Rourke. Wayward. McLaughlin with a steal. Has some help. Atkinson can't get there first. And the sliding tackle by Paula Roos, and she took the bad end of that one. Slow to get up. Clock is stopped inside 15 minutes to go as Roos is injured again. Waterman saying, come on, get up. Looks like she's going to stay in.
Limping a little bit. Look at it again, and Atkinson just crashing into her. She's going to run it off.
There's a push. That'll go against Skansberg. As Inzerillo hit the deck.
Who will take it for Central? It'll be Altericio. It'll be Smith.
Altericio to Bardez, who's been quiet in the second half. And her shot, oh, it hit the crossbar. Here's another chance for Central. Tachibana, no save! Oh, what a save! Fitzgerald! Are you kidding me?
The flying Fitzgerald. Seemed like she flew about 10 feet in the air.
Couple great chances for Central Connecticut. FDU hangs on.
Wow, that was spectacular. And the pressure, that first one knocked away by Fitzgerald. And then she's flat on her stomach and gets up for this one. Woo.
Tachibana thought she was going to find the back of the net, but Fitzgerald denied her. FDU's all-time leader in saves and shutouts and save percentage. Here's one into the box. FDU, a chance, and a Central player knocked down, looked like Williams. And it is a foul against FDU. They finally had some decent numbers and field position there. Now inside 13 minutes to go. Central with a number of good plays there. Inzerillo was on her back, and she passed it to Tachibana, who had a pretty good shot toward the left post. But Amanda Fitzgerald.
And if you're FDU, Dave, how long do you wait before you go with an all-out attack?
I think the time is now. Approaching 12 minutes left. Central nearly able to ice this one, but wasn't to be, and now FDU will keep it in their offensive third with Skansberg poked out by Hogan. Udovic, who did not start, has played a lot here for the Knights. She heads it toward Marquis. Now Egner. O'Rourke defends. Here's one bouncing, loose. Smith pops it up in the air. And the keeper, McQuillan, was knocked down, and they'll say it's a foul against FDU.
McQuillan came out. See what happens. As that ball comes in, there goes McQuillan.
Yeah, she was pushed down.
Yeah, double teamed.
Off the head of Atkinson. Tachibana. Back to O'Rourke. FDU has it. Roos, who's been banged up in this one with the throw in. Off the head of Atkinson. Egner. Past Skansberg. Hogan. McLaughlin. Crowd overreacting to every call and non-call now as tensions start to rise. Approaching 10 minutes to go. Tachibana has plenty of space. Beats one defender and leads Atkinson. She cannot beat Roos to that. FDU needs to find Marquis in the middle, number 11.
They tried to get it to her. She had vacated the spot.
Hogan. Atkinson. Atkinson playing for Cavello here. McLaughlin. Atkinson. Her center. Grabbed by Fitzgerald. Lost a shoe as well. Robbins. Loose pass taken by McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to beat Waterman. Roma, no. Waterman again.
So tough. So quick to get back and make the defensive stop, allow her teammates to regroup.
Central can afford to take their time here. 8:45 left. McLaughlin has played the whole match. And it's off of her. Looked like it was off of her. FDU ball. McLaughlin exhausted. She hasn't run like this in a while.
See Jackson Bennett checking in for FDU.
Housen takes a rest. Atkinson tied up. Taken away by Udovic. And somebody grabbed.
It's our first card of the game.
Oh, a yellow card. Somebody grabbed Udovic, maybe by the ponytail.
I think it was McLaughlin. I believe they got Roma McLaughlin. Right there.
Yep.
By the back of the shirt or the ponytail, one of the two.
$7:50 left. Waterman. Needs some help. Finds Shea. Now Bennett. Smith takes it away. McLaughlin is exhausted. She can't get to the ball. Hogan. Hogan tripped up, and Central Connecticut will have it. Roma McLaughlin's goal, 17 minutes into this game, has been the only one. Here comes Jenna Ray Cavello replacing Atkinson for the final push.
And you're right. I agree with you. I think McLaughlin is spent. Again, she missed the last few games of the regular season, banged up with injuries. Played that 15 minutes on Friday, but
McLaughlin with a good acting job there. She was jostling with Skansberg, and Central Connecticut will have a direct kick.
Is that Roma McLaughlin or Roma Downey?
Altarizio with 6:40 to go. Sends it in. Off the head of Roos. And nobody there for the rebound for Central as Fitzgerald yells out the play. The number 1 and 2 seeds in this tournament battling it out, literally.
And with the quirkiness in the results, an undefeated 2 seed in conference play. FDU 7-0-3.
Marquis off her shoulder. Central will have it. Central defense has been so good. Off the head of Smith. Now McLaughlin. Dorman. Bennett falls. Blue Devils have it. 5.5 to go in regulation.
FDU needs to push now. Offside. That cohesive offensive attack has just not formed and materialized much today for FDU.
FDU got a great save by Fitzgerald moments ago to rob Yo Tachibana what would have been the second goal. Bardez sends it ahead in the direction of Inzerillo, cleared out by Waterman. McLaughlin triple teamed. Tachibana paid the price.
Ooh, she is still down.
That she is. Bennett. And played out by Central. FDU will have it, but Tachibana, one of the best players on the Blue Devils, is still down. I don't think the ref sees it.
No, it's back. It's back as to her.
Chance here for FDU. Waterman, shot wide. Deflected.
Now you see Waterman taking that aggressive style, getting involved in the offense now. You got to have your best players up front now. Big corner coming up.
One of the biggest plays of this game. Bennett heads it. Loose. Albertson can't get there, and Tachibana, who recovered quickly, was able to clear it.
Defenders are up.
Smith clears. Now approaching 3 minutes to go. Big play by Smith. And she chases it down again. Headed by Albertson. Tachibana can't control. And a little scrum there off the head of Waterman. .225 left. Maybe the last chance for FDU as it's off of Bennett.
One of the Blue Devils down.
Stop the clock. McLaughlin maybe.
You're right.
And it is Roma as she hobbles away from that collision.
See what happened. Got sandwiched in between a couple of FDU players.
Off of McLaughlin. FDU has it from midfield with 2:10 left. Marquis couldn't get there and says she was pushed. There was a collision with Smith. Marquis is fit to be tied. And Central Connecticut will have it. They get the benefit. Cavello comes out, Atkinson back in. FDU crowd doesn't like it. Looked like Marquis was pushed. It's a big no call. Atkinson falls. FDU will have it. 1:30 left here in the second. McLaughlin. Atkinson just loses that one. Approaching 1 minute to go. Central Connecticut can taste it now.
1 minute.
Udovic.
1 minute.
Udovic still on the run. Broken up by Williams. Now Robbins. Maddie Robbins trying to find some space. Stolen by Tachibana. 45 seconds left. Waterman plays it back to Fitzgerald, who knows she has to hurry. Couple good plays by Smith. McLaughlin knows she just needs to waste time at this point. Dorman centers. Waterman. 10 seconds left. Central Connecticut is going to do it. Back-to-back champions in the NEC. The Blue Devils do it. 1-0 the final. Central Connecticut State wins the Women's Soccer Championship here in the NEC. Let the celebration begin. The Blue Devils are dancing. Roma McLaughlin, the only goal of the match, 17-minute mark of the first half. Heartbreak for the Knights after a terrific season. The first time this year they've lost to an NEC team. They end up splitting with Central, but losing in the final. A terrific championship team. Their 12th win of the year, their 9th straight victory, 1-0 the final. Central Connecticut moves on to the NCAA tournament. Selection show 4:30 tomorrow. Hard to pick an MVP for that team. So many contributions. McLaughlin, the midfielder of the year in the NEC, had the only goal in this one. Mick Darcy on the right, celebrating with his players. Jubilation. Physical game. Each team had a couple chances there in the second. Central had the best chance to really put it away, but Tachibana was robbed by Fitzgerald, the goalie. The Blue Devils did just enough there to fight off a game FDU club. Time for today's sharpshooter of the game. It's brought to you by Cooper Sharp. Premium deli cheese with a taste like no other. It's creamy, flavorful, perfectly melty. Pick up some Cooper Sharp today at your local deli counter. And the Cooper Sharpshooter of the game, off the rebound, Roma McLaughlin, her 10th goal of the year. Thanks to Cooper Cheese for their sponsorship of NEC Athletics this year. Central Connecticut goes back-to-back for the second time. They did it back in 04 and 05. This will be Mick Darcy's 8th NCAA tournament appearance, the 10th overall for this program. Marquis wanted that foul in the box there at the end. Didn't get the call. And Mark is standing by with Roma McLaughlin. Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you so much, Dave. Roma McLaughlin, congratulations. You're a conference champion. Tell me about that first goal, the only goal.
I actually don't know much about it. The ball just bounced up to me and I hit it. And it happened to place near top corner, so happy with that.
Do you know much about anything right now? Is your mind just swimming?
Yes, pretty much. It's 2 in a row, so we're just so happy. Like, we worked hard for that at the end, so at the end of the game I was ready to collapse to the floor. I couldn't even celebrate.
Does it feel any different this time than the first one last year?
Yeah, even better. To retain a title is harder than anything, and we've just gone and done that, so we're delighted, so happy.
And you're not feeling any pain from what's kept you out of the last couple of games?
No, I think once you're winning, you don't feel the pain, so.
Your teammates are cheering for you. This is a very close group, I gather.
Really close. Like, as the seasons went on, we've got better, we've started playing better, we've got closer. Like, couldn't ask for much more. These girls are amazing.
Well, you got more to go, the NCAA tournament. Best of luck.
Yeah, bring it on. Thank you.
All right, we'll bring on Mick Darcy in just a second. Dave, I'll throw it back to you.
Okay, Mark.
Thank you.
What a lovely kid. Mick Darcy, the Irish coach, brings Roma McLaughlin, the sophomore from Donegal, Ireland, to New Britain, Connecticut, and they deliver another championship here for Central Connecticut State. The number 1 seed and the defending champs repeat. Mick Darcy is standing by with Mark.
All right, Dave, thanks so much. Mick, you got a bunch of these back-to-back, though, pretty special. You did it once before.
It is. It's the reality is it's a whole new experience each time. Each team creates their own identity, and this group has been phenomenal this year. Of course, some of them were there last year too, but we lost a lot of big players last year, and people stepped up and did a fantastic job filling those spaces. And they made this year their own.
What went so well all season, and in particular in this game today?
I think just the diversity that we have on our team as far as our attack is concerned. We're a very, very well-balanced team. I think you looked at the starting lineup today. Every of the 10 field players that started today, they've all scored goals, I think, in conference play. So you never know where our attack is going to come from. Obviously, Roma, special goal she was the best player in the league this year, and to cap it off by getting a goal in the final is fantastic.
The chemistry, the intangibles of this team, pretty, even though they're intangibles, they're kind of evident when you watch this group play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard-working group. It's blue collar. You saw how they battled today. I mean, FDU gave us everything we could handle today. It certainly wasn't. I don't think it was a fun game to watch, but it was just a battle, and we needed to match their intensity, and we did.
How will you prepare this coming week for the tournament?
Well, we'll enjoy this one for a little bit first, and then we'll wait to see who we get tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, you have to live in the moment, and let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Well, go enjoy the moment with your club. Congratulations.
Well, so I know there's a lot of people watching, so Ronnie Pringle, thanks.
All right. Best of luck to Mick Darcy. Congratulations to the Blue Devils. Dave, back to you.
Okay, and Mick with a personal message there. The winningest coach in Central Connecticut history, this year's Northeast Conference Coach of the Year. And he's going to the NCAA tournament for the 8th time. Legendary figure here in soccer in the Northeast. And his team victorious 1-0 over Fairleigh Dickinson. FDU finishes their season 9-6-6. It was their only loss against an NEC team. Central Connecticut 12-4-4, and they've won 10 times against NEC opponents this year. Bitter loss for Eric Tepe and the Knights. They had a couple of chances, but Central Connecticut did control the ball more precisely. They had a time of possession edge, I believe. And they had a couple of good chances there that they were not able to connect on. Bardez in particular, and Tachibana had some chances. And Central Connecticut prevails 1-0. Let's send it now to PA announcer Tom Pinsins as he will announce the all-tournament team and the runner-up trophy and the championship trophy, which will be handed to Mick Darcy and the Blue Devils.
Bryant Senior Marissa Grasso. And Sacred Heart freshman Catherine White. Your representatives from FDU, goalkeeper Amanda Fitzgerald. Midfielder Maddie Robbins. And midfielder Maya Skansberg. Your all-tournament selections from CCSU. A senior, Yo Tachibana. A senior, Ali O'Rourke. A junior, Brianna Williams. And a sophomore, Taylor Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Northeast Conference Women's Soccer Tournament Most Valuable Player from CCSU, Senior Yo Tachibana. And now let's recognize the 2019 Northeast Conference Tournament runner-up, the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson University. Will Coach Eric Tipi and his captain please accept the award. And now, the 2019 Northeast Conference Women's Soccer Tournament champions, the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut State University. The CCSU senior class will accept the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the NCAA Women's Soccer Selection Show will be broadcast tomorrow, Monday, November 11th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on NCAA.com. Congratulations to the 2019 Northeast Conference champions, CCSU Blue Devils.
Central Connecticut celebrates here on their home field, a clean sweep for them this season. Regular season champs, tournament champs, and moving on to the dance.
An impressive way to finish off a great season. And now it's on to the NCAA tournament and that postseason. And this bunch is, as Mick talked about, hard-working group. Hard work and talent can take you a long way.
It could be dangerous in the tournament.
We'll find out. Monday is the selection show, and we'll see where the Blue Devils are headed and who they'll take on.
I like that hard hat. It is a blue-collar team.
Part of hard-hitting New Britain.
That's right. And it pays off for the Blue Devils in this one. Mark, as always, a pleasure working with you. I'll see you soon.
A lot of fun. I can't wait.
All right. So for our entire crew, for Brad Kasnet, our producer-director, for everyone here in New Britain. For Mark Robbins, Dave Popkin saying so long. From New Britain, Connecticut, our final score, 1-0, Central Connecticut over FDU. They are the champs of the NEC. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Congratulations to the Blue Devils. They're moving on to the NCAA tournament. We thank you for watching.